Yeah, I mean, you led some good drives today. Like, what do you like about the younger guys around you who are, getting a little more opportunities here with some injuries?
Yeah, we got a lot of young guys playing right now that are learning. It's good that they get this opportunity in spring ball. It's really the time for them to get to know the offense, and we're throwing a lot at them. Expect them to know a lot, so I thought it was good that they came out and played well. So.
What was your decision-making process on, returning for this spring season?
Yeah, so it was a tough decision for me. I thought about it, but honestly, in the end, what brought me back was I feel like there isn't any other program like this in the country. There's no team, especially in the SEC, that values the people, values the standard, morals in a team like Coach Lea and his staff do. And so I, as a player and also as a real human being, I really appreciate that about them. And I feel like I've built genuine relationships with them. And 1 year away from graduating, and I have a lot of faith in what they're doing here, and I feel like I'll develop better as a person if I were to stay here.
And so you graduate in December.
Yes.
I mean, you go against the defense in the secondary every practice. How have you seen them, evolve a little bit? It seems like they're making a lot more plays than maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Howell gives them absolutely the right mentality to play defense. I think he really does a good job instilling the heart of hyenas. It's kind of like what we could compare our defense to is a pack of hyenas, and they play like it. At times, I feel their energy and I feel their tenacity, and I think they play with a little bit of edge, a little bit of aggression, and I think that's what you need on defense. So it's given us a good challenge on offense, but we look good too.
What's your relationship with AJ like now that he's in his second season?
Yeah, AJ's a really good dude. I tell a lot of people actually ask me, and I always tell them like, AJ's a hard guy to not like. He's a really good dude. He's funny. He's friends with everyone. Very personable guy. So he is a younger guy, but he knows a lot of the offense. He's very familiar and understands what he's doing on the field. Has a good grasp. So I mean, it's really not even like, I don't know, much. It doesn't feel like there's much of an age difference between us. We kind of look at each other as peer-to-peer, I think. So I really enjoy playing with him.
This is year 3 with the same quarterbacks coach,
Yeah.
Coach Lynch, and sort of 2.5 maybe, same
Yeah.
OC to some extent.
Yeah, that's
where
fair.
do you see, where do you see that show up? I mean, that's like not that common in college football.
I know, it's actually been really awesome. I'm not gonna lie. Like, keeping the same offense, like going into the offseason, having spring ball, and like honestly, if we wanted to install our entire offense right now, we could. I think we're very confident in what we're doing on the offensive side of the ball. We know our responsibilities, and especially for a guy like me, I've been here for a while. It allows me the autonomy to coach those young guys, the guys that are coming in, still learn those positions. So it just allows like more people to coach the offense, make sure everyone knows what they're doing. And it's not just on Coach Lynch or whoever the quarterback coach or coordinator is. So it's I think it's absolutely been a massive advantage for us on offense.
Do you think it's fair to say that since you guys don't have to learn all this stuff, that it allows you to maybe during the spring focus more on just like getting better as opposed to figuring out what you're supposed to be doing?
Absolutely. I think it allows us a lot of opportunity to look at last season's film and years prior, even 2021. And we're able to look at like what we did good, what plays worked, what plays didn't work, break down everything as far as we want to break it down, and create a game plan moving forward. And so things are going to change next season, as far as our game plan goes, the way that we're going to call plays, we're going to sequence different things. We have some new plays that we're putting in, so it's not all just going to be the same thing, copy and paste. We're learning what we do good, we're looking at the numbers, and I think the offseason is a really good time to sit back, check all those out, and I think it's going to be really good.
Kind of flying around and making more plays,
Yeah, for sure. We put a big emphasis on total effort and just pursuit and pursuit angles. We work pursuit every day in practice to start off practice, and just teaching that effort, teaching those angles, and just closing space. And even if they do make one person miss, make 2 people miss, we just got people pursuing to get there and just help get them down.
What kind of progress do you think you've seen? Like, you came from a winning program, of course. What kind of progress do you think you've seen, like culturally and work ethic, that sort of thing, over the last year or whatever?
Like the improvement?
From the entire program, I guess, in terms of more of a winning mentality.
Yeah, I mean, just like the competition each day of practice, it's just getting better. Both sides super competitive. Like you saw today, like the final score was 29-28. I mean, it's just competitive every day. People are practicing harder. People are recovering better off the field, putting more work in the weight room, doing more film study. I mean, it's just night and day different how much work's being put in right now in the off season.
What do you think about how little bro's doing?
Hey, I was very proud of him today. It was fun watching him today. He was flying around making plays. It's been super fun. Just every day working out together, watching film together, just kind of helped teaching him the ropes, and he's just came a long way since he first got here, so I'm super proud of him.
Take us through why you decided to come to Vanderbilt.
I mean, it was pretty exciting. I knew Coach Lee kind of in the high school recruiting process. He was a coach I was super fond of. I was always bummed that I never got the chance to play for him when I went to Stanford, but it was kind of a full circle moment. After my senior season, he calls me and gives me an opportunity here. You can hear his passion for the culture he's building here, and I could not be a part of it after hearing everything he had to say.
What are your? I mean, you played against this team. I imagine. I don't know if you played
Yes.
in that game.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are your impressions now that you've gotten here, especially maybe compared to what you saw when you played against them?
It's clear that like this team is on the ascent. I mean, I remember kind of what it felt like playing them 2 years ago, and it's kind of seeing the speed and tenacity, and kind of the communication that the offense has now versus then. It's clearly getting so much better, and just having the opportunity to be a part of this defense has been super fun. A lot of guys, a lot of great pieces. Yeah, it's super awesome to be a part of.
From what I heard, it sounded like you played a little more like out of a three-point stance last season. Is that right? Relative
Yes.
to previous seasons.
Yeah. So last year we kind of shifted our fronts a little bit, how we run our defense. So I was always on the line, sometimes in a 2-point, sometimes in a 3. I think I have the ability to play both. Here I'm only asked to do 2-point, which I'm totally comfortable with. Was an adjustment, kind of shifting, have my inside foot back instead of my outside foot back like I did there. But we've been practicing that all winter. So I think by the time spring ball started, I was kind of adjusted to that change. But I'm still able to take a lot of the things I learned at Stanford and apply it to this defense. But I think it plays to my strengths a little more here. So.
What do you think of Darren Agu in your position?
Yeah, I mean, Darren, in my opinion, he's like the freakiest guy on our defense. I mean, I haven't been here too long, but I can tell he's putting it together. I mean, last play, great rush, great sack, kind of just closed the game out right there. I think that's kind of indicative of what the staff kind of expects for him. He's a young guy, but they're gonna put a lot on his shoulders because he can handle it. So I can tell staff's super excited about him. I'm super excited about him. Love playing on the other side. It's a lot of fun.
Well, I mean, like, kind of. I don't know. Did you think the defense won today? What do you think of the ebb and flow? I'm not even entirely sure after the offense sort of played better late.
So what we say is we defer to watch the film. So you're starting to coach, Robbie. No, it was good back and forth. I felt like one thing I loved about our defense today was just when you felt like the offense was getting momentum, maybe it was explosive play. I thought AJ and Will had a really nice connection there early. The defense found a way to stand tall and to make a stop. And you really want to see those responses. That's some of the emotional control we talked about on Thursday. That's why it's important. It's not necessarily that we're going to be fighting each other on the field on Saturday. It's that, do I belong to myself so I can belong to my team? And in those moments, make the responses I need to make to be where my feet are and to execute. And I saw that on defense. I thought in the second half, I thought they kind of took over there early, and the offense was able to string together a couple drives there late. It was a good competitive day, and obviously we're not going to read that much into it because it's the first scrimmage of spring, and we got a lot of runway from now until we're playing. But it's, again, more about how is the identity of the program, building and crystallizing. How are we learning to play the game within our schemes and structures? And I think after we review the film, that we'll say, today was a positive step for us.
It looked like, both Seals and Drew Dickey made some nice plays. So how are you feeling about the quarterback depth?
Well, I'm feeling really good. I felt like Walter missed some chances today, too. And again, we're not going to put too much weight in today's performance. We don't need to, but I think Walter's also stepped into some nice play this spring. I'll be excited for him to bounce back and to learn from today. And some of that was, a mishandled snap and just some things where, you're not giving yourself a chance to get started and get going. Drew's been flashing all camp, and I think Ken is really stepping into that veteran experience you'd expect. And, those guys are live too. So what you're watching them do is a little more realistic with respect to what it'll feel like in the game. And I'm happy for them. They just got to keep coming.
What does it mean for you to have Ken back for this season?
Well, this is something I could talk about for a long time. I mean, he's a leader for us. He's, you talk about a guy that's chosen to be a part of this, just despite not having all the results he's wanted. You think about what he went through from freshman year to sophomore year to junior year. That's a lot, and in this day and age, most people run away from that. I think Ken has kept asking questions. He's kept looking for ways for his improvement, and I think he's experienced some self-discovery as a result. And I see a guy that I got a ton of respect for, that I'm happy to lock arms with, and I'm shoulder to shoulder with, and I think it is stepping into his highest level of performance that we've seen. So he's just got to keep focusing on him and being a great contributor to us. But I couldn't be more happy to have him part of our program.
I think, like when you guys recruit linebackers, a lot of times the testing stuff is important. I don't know that Langston Patterson would run a super fast 40 time or anything like that, but he's making plays anyway. I mean, why is he effective?
Well, Langston was the first commitment we took here. I think he and BJ, it was kind of bang bang for that. And then, we lost BJ for a little bit. So Langston's the sole possessor of that. And that was very intentional from our end. I had recruited him some to Notre Dame. And for me, as I looked at the challenge that we had to build this program, I knew that it was going to start with environment and culture and guys that knew how to make the winning choices. And I think sometimes when boundaries aren't in place, though you have people with the character to make those winning choices, our behaviors slowly bleed into something that's unrecognizable. And I think that's where this program was. Adding Langston was adding someone that I knew would answer the call to action. And that's what makes him a good football player. It's nothing more, nothing less. He's got enough physical tools, enough skills. He's got an absolute incredible heart, and he cares about what we're doing. And those are the guys that you want, to go to battle with on Saturdays.
It feels like, the O-line is back, and we know that, they were solid last season. It feels like there's more disruption. Like, do you notice the defensive line? Like, do you think they are taking steps forward?
I do. I think that's maybe the area we've made the biggest strides as a program is in the defensive line, at all four positions. I think part of that is skill that's been developed. You see young players stepping into another year of experience. I think also Coach Black and Coach Hay have done a great job identifying the areas where we need to strengthen our get off, the way we play with our hands. We want to be the best in the country at the first half a second of the play up front, and that's going to allow us to play in the backfield and to be more disruptive to combinations. And so we'll look today. I think some of the runs that we're getting going for the offense on Thursday struggled today. It'll be interesting to see what caused that, what created that. But I think certainly a part of it has been improved play up front, and I'm proud of our D line for that.